Hello and welcome to the ultimate self-care guide. In this video today, I'm going to talk to you about what self-care really is. What I have learned over the years really helps you to care for yourself, to be who you're supposed to be, to live the life that you actually really want to live, because I know that you want to live the life of your dreams. And I'm not talking about having huge houses or having big cars or huge families, loads of people around you. I'm talking about feeling okay within yourself and happier and content and more at peace within yourself. So let me get started on this. So there's three elements that come with this. And the first one is training your mind. So we all have a mind that works in a way that we train it to. So actually we have some control over how our minds can work, but sometimes it feels like we don't have that control. So let me tell you how you can get some of that control back. Now, it's not an immediate fix. It's not going to change overnight. But believe me, I am the story of somebody who was extremely negative and hopeless about life. 15, 20 years ago, I didn't know that I could feel more positive, that I could be more positive, and that I could actually enjoy life. I didn't know that. And over time, I've discovered and I've trained my mind. I actually didn't know exactly what I was doing. And I think if I had known exactly where I was getting with the training of my mind, I would have worked harder at it. So it's all about mindset. It's all about how you view your life. So there's two types of mindset. We can have a fixed mindset where we're full of self-pity, or maybe we just see things always from a negative perspective. We people please. We're always worrying about what other people think. We don't take action because we fear that we're going to fail, and that thought is there before we even start. Now, the other mindset is a growth mindset where we see, okay, there's possibility. I can do this. So we change the I can'ts. You change the I can'ts into I cans. Now, I know that you can do this because I've done it. I was full of I can'ts. I was full of, this isn't going to work for me. I'm not good enough for this. And I changed some of those into I cans. And it took a while. It took some steps and it took some encouragement. So one of the things I would suggest is to stop surrounding yourself with people who give you that negative mindset, who tell you you're no good, who tell you that you can't do things, and find some people who are going to encourage you, who are on your side, who want you to get the things that you want in life. So seek out those people. Connect with your heart. So what is in your heart? What is kindness? What is compassion? What is feeling positive? Connect with that, and you might need to just sit for a moment and just think about what your heart is saying. Now, that's a bit of a skill, but if you just sit for a moment and just focus on your breath, your heart will come through, because we operate so much from our head. We operate from this thought process that actually sometimes doesn't serve us, but our heart really knows what we want and who we can be and and it's full of love. Now, you wouldn't say to a child who was learning to walk, you wouldn't say, oh, you're just going to fall down again. You're not going to make it. You would encourage them. You would say, come on, get up. Try again. You can do this, because you know the end result is that that child will walk. You know that. So it's knowing that you will achieve what you want to achieve, that you can feel positive about yourself. Now, there's a reason for this. There's this great thing called neuroplasticity, which has only been discovered in the last maybe 20 years. Now, when I first did a psychology degree way back in 1989, they didn't know about this. I never learned about this because they've only discovered in the last maybe 30 years that actually you can start to train your mind to do different things and to have a different message. Now, to put that really simply, I'd like to give you a picture of a forest. So imagine a forest that's overgrown, and there's two paths. There's a positive path and there's a negative path. Now you've been walking down that negative path for most of your life. So it's become very, very clear. It's easy to walk down. It's, there's the road, it's all cut away. There's, the ground is easy to get through. You don't get covered in brambles. You don't get stung by stinging nettles. So that is the path that you choose. Now the other path is the positive path. Now that's a little bit overgrown. There's nettles. It's there's brambles. You maybe need some tools to get through there, like a scythe or some cutters to cut away, the brambles. And so you think, oh, I can't be bothered to go down that road. Now, that is the road that if you want a positive mindset, if you want to see things more positively, you want to train your mind to be positive, you need to break through those brambles. You need to pick up those tools. You need to find a way to get through that thickness. And as you walk down that path, more and more, it gets a little bit easier. So the second time you go down it, maybe there's no stinging nettles because you've chopped them all away. Or maybe the brambles have cut back a bit. So it's a bit easier. You don't get your legs all scratched. You don't feel burdened. You don't feel, just like harassed by going down this positive route. So it's all about choosing the harder route, because your mind is automatically going to go down the negative route, even though the negative route feels that is the one that's harder, but actually that is the one that's easier because it's your comfortable pair of slippers. It's what you've been doing for years. So get them tools and start to walk down that positive mindset. And believe me, I am an example of that. I am an example of having worked on that for years. I didn't know I was working on it, but I surrounded myself with more positive people. I started to learn how to believe in myself. I changed some of those negative messages into positive ones. And now most of my immediate thoughts are a lot more positive. I don't see the disaster in everything, which, believe me, I was there. So that's number one in the ultimate self-care tool. Number two, build your self-worth. Now, it's very, very easy to have negative self-worth. We get taught things by carers, by parents, by ex-partners, by present partners, by our children. They tell us things. They tell us that we're no good. They tell us that we can't do this, we can't do that. And we install those messages in our brains. Why are you listening to everybody else? You can live a life which could be a lot happier if you don't listen to those messages from other people. You don't take them on board. A lot of those are in the past. Why live your life according to the past? So you can build your self-worth in whatever way you want to. But perhaps you need to give yourself permission to do that. Because sometimes we feel we haven't got permission. And that is something that you are in control of. You can give yourself that permission slip. Like when you were at school and you wanted to take time off PE. You needed a permission slip. So you can give yourself that permission slip to build your self-worth. To be happy with yourself. Why live your life being upset with yourself? In fact, when you think about it, that's ridiculous. Be happy with yourself. You've got to live with yourself for the rest of your life. So you might as well build a positive relationship. And sometimes we don't know how to build positive relationships. So sometimes we need to go and do some little bit of work, maybe connect with our inner child, connect with those messages, connect with that positivity within ourselves, understand who we are. Look at all the good things about ourselves, write them down as a list. And I'm a big believer in self-acceptance as well. It's not just about building yourself up so that you're arrogant and full of ego and like thinking that you're the best in the world. It's about finding a balance and recognizing that you are exactly like everybody else. You have all these positive aspects, but you also have negative aspects about yourself. And it's okay. Every other human being has those same things. They absolutely do. So don't look at yourself with judgment. Look at yourself with acceptance, with love, with caring, with nurturing. You know, we have to parent ourselves in adult lives, but the inside you is still that inner child, you know, that inner part of you that needs nurturing, that needs loving, that needs taking care of. So, you know, do it today, even if throughout the day today, if you notice some negative self-talk come in, just change it. Even if it's just, I'm okay. That's good enough. I'm okay today. Or it's okay to not be okay today. Just be okay with yourself. Instead of chastising yourself, instead of being angry with yourself, what good is that going to do? Certainly doesn't do a child any good. So why are you doing it to yourself? So that's point number 2. Now, point number 3 is about building and creating your vision for your life. So this is really, really important. I'm just going to say hi to everyone. Hi, Valerie. She's saying, yeah, I feel this. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, thank you to you as well. I'm just going to say that now on this live. I see that Tina is here as well. Hi, Tina. There's a few other people joining. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Okay, so I'm going to talk about point number 3 now, creating your vision, building your vision, building your life, your best life. Yeah, building and creating your vision for your life. You're going to repeat every word that I'm saying, Valerie, because I know you're on board with this. You can create your vision and you can make it happen. And the key is believing. Now, let me tell you my personal experience. So I have 3 points in my life where I created and built my vision. And they weren't things that I planned, but they were points where I probably hit a bit of a rock bottom, but I also hit a space. And sometimes we get given space in time, space in life, and there's a purpose to that space. So use it. And I didn't know I was using it at the time, but the first one was in 1998. I had a really bad car accident. Now, I was actually at that point at a really, really desperate point. Actually, the night before I had that car accident, I had wanted to die. I didn't want to be here anymore. You know, I actually prayed that I wouldn't wake up in the morning. Of course, I did wake up in the morning because we do. But I didn't want to be here. And I was in a bad car accident and I was really badly hurt. And I was in hospital and then I was back home and I couldn't walk. I had broken legs. No, I had bruised legs. Sorry, exaggeration there. I had broken arms and very bruised legs. So I actually couldn't walk for about 3 weeks because my legs were so badly bruised. I have quite tough legs, so they didn't break. Not at that point anyway. They might have broken now because I'm a little bit older now. So I was in bed and I just looked at my life. It gave me that opportunity to stop and look at what I was doing. And I realised I didn't want the life that I had. I didn't want it anymore. I just did not want it. But I didn't know how to get out of it. So what I did is I started exploring and I started thinking about what I wanted to do, and I explored courses, and because I always go to courses, that's my go-to. It's not for everybody because that's the history I've come from. So I found a course and I thought, right, I'm going to be a counsellor. That was my solution. But you know what? That counselling course that I did go on, I went on it a few months later, gave me the tools. It helped me to realise, the biggest thing that I realised was that I did not have to have the life that I had anymore. I didn't have to be or live how I was living. I had a choice. I'd learned that I had a choice. And that was such an insight for me, such a moment of wow. I have a choice. I can choose to do something different. I didn't know how to do it, but I knew that I could choose. So from that, there was a series of decisions that I made. One of them, you know, was leaving the relationship that I was in. That was tough. Another one was moving away from where I lived, surrounding myself with people who cared about me. I moved away. I was isolated. I moved away from the isolation. I moved towards people. I didn't really want to, because I felt very resistant to that, because I was so insecure around people. But I moved away from that isolation. I moved towards people who I knew cared about me and loved me. And I was so full of shame, but I did it. And, you know, that was the first point. Second point was in 2008. It's a long story from there, because I went into rehab, I got well, you know, I did loads of work on myself. And I was working in the prisons, helping people, other people. And I became ill with swine flu. 2008, I got swine flu. And I was really poorly. And during that time, I felt, I'm just working so hard. I'm working, you know, all the time. I'm coming home to a busy home. I was stressed, really stressed. And at that point, I thought, I don't think I'm actually doing what I want to be doing. And I created a vision. During that period of time, I researched. By that point, I had a computer. I researched lots of personality questionnaires, lots of life wheels. I did all of those. I did all that stuff. I connected with some coaches. And I realised that actually I could build my dream life. I could build a life. I could be in alignment with myself. And I started to work on that. Now, it took many years, and I didn't have the courage to make that happen. Even though it was all starting to come in, I was building it in the background, and I didn't realise how much I had actually built in the background until 2017. I lost my job. And I was suddenly left with this blank platform, a blank space. And immediately I filled it with all of the vision that I'd created over those 9 years, from 2008 till 2017. And it just fell into place. Within a week, I had the program written for my retreats. And, you know, I planned to go on various kind of exercises to increase my knowledge, to support me. It all just happened in that moment. And you know, as I say that, I just feel so excited, because this is work that, you know, I mean, that's a long span of time, but you can start today. And maybe if you know a little bit more than me, if you have a bit more knowledge than me, if you get people to help you with this, you can do this in a quicker time than I did. But, you know, I'm somebody who could show you how to do this. And there's many other people out there who also can show you how to do this, how to create your vision, how to train your mind, build your self-worth, and create your vision. Those 3 steps. And, you know, if I'm honest, you know, I now live the absolute life that I want to live. I'm not at the end, because if I was the end, it would be the end. I have so much more to learn and grow and develop with. We always have more that we can learn and develop. But my mindset is good. My self-worth is good. And believe me, it still comes in sometimes and has a little word with me, that negative stuff, but I'm able to turn that round. And I'm living my vision. I'm living my dream. And it's not about a big car, a big house. In fact, I downsized. You know, I completely downsized. You know, I went small, because I'm able to kind of live. I'm not people pleasing. I'm not doing stuff for other people all the time. You know, I'm not maintaining a house which is stressful. It's the simple things that matter for me. Okay, the way that you can build your vision, just three things on how you can build your vision, tools that you can use. So you can journal and you can meditate. Writing in a journal, it taps into your subconscious. It taps into what you really, really want in life. So just write about it. Continue to write about it. If you need to write about it for a year, do that. Just give yourself 5-10 minutes every morning to do that. You can, of course, take a break, but, you know, just journal, just write. Meditate as well. If you can do that, meditation isn't hugely easy, But if you can, just sit for 5-10 minutes and meditate and just be at peace. Just be quiet. Listen to your breathing. Things will start to come. Your vision will start to come. Write a story of how you would like your life to be, or build a collage. You know, get some newspapers and some magazines, get some pens, some pencils, you know, get creative and put it down on paper, then stick it up on your wall or do it on the computer. You know, whatever works for you, use that tool to create your vision for your life. Okay, so just summarising those 3 points. So train your mind, train your mindset, get a growth mindset and not a fixed one. Build your self-worth, you know, nurture yourself, do nice things for yourself. The first thing they told me when I was in rehab was go and buy yourself some flowers. Oh my God, that was so hard. I had to go out and buy some flowers. I didn't feel I deserved them. And create your vision, dream, allow that to happen. You know, think about how you want your life to be. And then, you know, allow it to happen. Take those steps. Take the steps. So if you'd like to come on this journey with me, if this excites you, I am running a 3-day retreat at the end of this month. So it's the 29th, the 30th and 31st of August. And the beauty of this retreat is you can choose one of the separate days. So day 1 is train your mind. Day 2 is build your self-worth. And day 3 is create your vision. So we are going to work on those 3 things. We're going to dive deeper into each of those 3 things that I've mentioned in this video. Now, if you are a person who has watched this video, if you've watched this video on replay, I'm going to still give you the early bird offer. So just let me know you watched this video and you can have the early bird offer, which actually finished yesterday. So we've got quite a few people enrolled already. So for those that watch this video, you can have that early bird offer. So each individual day is £175 without the offer. If you come on board with the offer, so you've watched this video, you tell me you've watched this video, it's £129 per day. £129 per day. Think about that investment for yourself of where you can go in your life with that £129. What could change for you? Just think about that. If you want to come for all 3 days, we'll take you on a journey through the 3 days and each of those elements. And then we will support you afterwards as well to continue on that journey. So you'll get me on hand to hold your hand, to support you. You'll get some accountability. And that will be in the form of one-to-ones, or, you know, a Zoom group with other people from the retreats. Depends what the preference of the group is. But we're going to put that in place. So if you come on the early bird offer, because you've watched this video, it's only £350. £350 to build the template for your life ahead. I mean, wow. For those that are coming after the early bird offer, it's £500. So it's worth getting on board. You know, there's £150 off that. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you've watched this on replay, put a little tag replay underneath the video. I will put the link underneath this for all the information about the retreat and the individual days. It will change. There won't be the early bird offer on there anymore. Probably after about midday today, that's going to go off there. So you won't see that. But if you've watched this video, you'll know about that. So you can tell me that you know. Have a wonderful day, take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye.